You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
There's reality and then there's wishful thinking. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Hey, and if you're on YouTube and you want to join us in the daily live commenting, live discussion, live Q&A in the afternoons, then you need to be on patreon.com. And if you're watching this on Patreon, if you're getting the links through Patreon, then guess what? You're getting news, thought, opinion as it happens. No delays, folks. No waiting around for the facts. But be that as it may, we're way ahead already, folks. We're way ahead of these people. Now, if you were to see Kathy Ireland, men, if you were to see Kathy Ireland walking down the street and you thought, man, I'd love to have a date with her. Women, if you were to see John Stamos walking down the street and thought, that'd be cool to go on a date with him, right? It's wishful thinking. It's not reality. It's just wishing. And I got to tell you, in this world today, literally for decades now, but especially since Surveysabug, and especially since we've got Biden in office, we've got a lot of wishful thinking going on from people who are wishing and hoping for some magical savior to come along. It's wishful thinking. Now, if it happens, cool. If Kathy Ireland says, hey, let's go on a date, right? Then you deal with that as a new reality. But for the meantime, it's wishful thinking. We've got to give up on wishful thinking. Hope, pray, yes. Reality in front of us, planning, definitely. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. Go to thepreparedmind.club, C-L-U-B. Get prepared. Because wishful thinking does not feed you, does not protect you, doesn't help you, right? So what's going on? We're going to have massive long-term military conflict. Whether it's small scale or whether it's a Cold War, it is going to be conflict. That is what we can be assured of. They're not going to quit. They're not going to give up. They're not going to go away. And even if the actions are small, the consequences will be huge, 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 off the charts. That's what they're all about, folks. Conflict, to create crisis, to allow them to institute change, which increases their power and wealth. So why not peace? Why not cooperation? Why not prosperity? Because that doesn't suit their agenda. The World Economic Forum and these globalist powers are controlling, like puppet masters, the governments of the world. They want that. They like that. It works. It doesn't require cooperation. It requires manipulation. It doesn't require prosperity for all. It creates prosperity for them. And that is why we're seeing a failure in the world stage. Let's talk about that some. We need proofs and examples to justify why we need to give up on wishful thinking, which is something it took me a long time, folks, to give up on it. Not to be so black-pilled that I want to jump off a cliff, but so I can deal with facts, reality in a honest way with myself. Right? Now, Trump dealt with North Korea very well. No more conflict. Trump dealt with Iran, quieted them down. Trump dealt with the Syria issue. Right? Conflict with Russia was averted, even though it was close. Right? But the U.S. crap in Syria was put to rest for a while. That was great. And of course, we got Biden back in office. So the world economic powers, the World Economic Forum powers, shall we say, are back at it. They absolutely ruined that nuclear oil deal with Iran. So Iran is back to doing business with Russia, China, I guess India, Brazil, South Africa, the BRICS nations. There's going to be a completely other side, folks, that operates in this world. Now, let's move forward. You know, we started in North Korea, we went over to Iran and went to Syria, and then of course we had the Libya debacle, Benghazi. Now we're in Ukraine. Well, we were in Ukraine back in 2014. We're back there now, right? And the Russians want, believe it or not, peace. They were operating under the Donbass peace after the 2014 coup d'etat, headed, folks, by guess what? None other than advisors. That's right, special advisors who went in there and helped take over that country, literally take over the country. So Lavrov, who is the Russian diplomat, he has rejected the new Ukraine draft peace proposal as unacceptable. Now here's my thing. What they're doing is they're going back and forth. You know, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that. We'll agree to this if you agree to that. And Lavrov is like, no. You see, he also says that the United States government is undermining the discussions. It's undermining the peace process. Why? Why are they undermining it, folks? Well, the U.S. government is sabotaging peace to keep their Russia evil narrative, just as they sabotaged the Iran nuclear oil talks, right? It's manufactured crisis. It's maintained crisis to get the Great Reset, the New World Order in place. It's really, folks, it's really that simple, right? So when we look at what they need to get there, they need conflict. They need war. They need strife. They need difficulties. They need shortages so that they have a boogeyman to blame and an evil to point to. They couldn't do this, folks, with Afghanistan, so they pulled out of Afghanistan. They couldn't do this with the Middle East or Iraq or Iran. They couldn't do it. They needed a bigger boogeyman to push a bigger agenda. Well, they're doing it. And now General Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, he looks like 300 pounds of shit stuffed in a 100-pound sack. General Milley says risk of, quote, significant conflict between the U.S. and Russia, between NATO and Russia, is increasing. You bet it is, folks, because there are international efforts and money to be made on this conflict. The bigger the threat, the more they can say it's a Cold War and we've got a standoff and Russia evil. Russia really, really bad, right? He says, this is his quote, "We are now facing two global powers, Russia and China, each with significant military capabilities, both who intend to fundamentally change the rules-based current global order." Folks, you're on top of this. China and Russia want to fundamentally change. That's Barack Obama's word. That's his concept, to fundamentally change America. Well, he's saying Russia and China want to fundamentally change the rules-based current global order. No. It's Klaus Schwab. It is the Bilderbergs. It is Soros that want to fundamentally change and Great Reset the old order, which is constitutional law and order that was based on rules, concepts, ideas of freedom and liberty. They are the ones who want to change it. They want a new global order, a new world order. They're the ones having the meetings. They're the ones pulling the strings. But here is General Milli Vanilli. Got your lipstick on, buddy? General Milli Vanilli saying there's two global powers, China and Russia, and they're military capable. Of course they are. They want to be the bad guys. They want to fundamentally change, right? No. It is the New World Order bankers, folks. The Klaus Schwabs, the George Soros, the Bill Gates. Now, Milley continues. "We are entering a world that is becoming more unstable. The potential for significant international conflict between great powers is increasing, not decreasing. Why, folks? How? Because the United States diplomats, envoys, advisors are telling Ukraine, do not back down, don't give up, don't quit, keep the conflict going. We need a massive threat so we can fundamentally change. It is through fear, folks. It's through fear that they keep people controlled. They create the crisis so they can benefit from it. That is exactly how this has played out, because it's played out this way in the past. To bring China into this now, while also China is the world's #1 trading partner. The US and European Union worlds, that's their #1 trading partner. Because China makes everything, folks. I won't say exactly 100% everything, but they are the major manufacturing power. The National Defense Strategy, the new one under Milley, claimed that China was the top threat facing the US military and Russia was second. So Russia is a big bad boogeyman. Russia is now teamed up with China. So now we have the #1 and #2 threats. They're good guys, bad guys, folks. That's what they needed. They're the bad guys, we're the good guys, and we have to fight them. We have to change things. We have to make, strategic moves. We have to forget about that nasty old Constitution. And we need to create a new world order to deal with this. And for General Milley's part, he likes the military-industrial complex part. He says that the military shift in focus towards great power competition. That's what they like, folks. They need that competition. That's what the Cold War was about. It was a silent war, the Cold War. It was a strategic arms race with nuclear powers, technology, like the new helicopters, the new submarines, the new jets. That's what that was all about. Competition, spending money, making people wealthy, keeping us, me and you, scared, controlling us, trying to literally take away our freedoms and liberties and replace them with special privileges. All in the name of, oh boy, it's a different world than 1776. Well, how about this? How about freedom and liberty first? And government working within those constraints. Not going to happen. Not going to happen, folks. Chance favors the prepared mind. Are you ready for what's coming? Go to thepreparedmind.club. Get your food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense needs all taken care of with your plan. From food preparation to water to food storage to body armor to radios to solar power in case the grid goes down for extended periods. Expect it, folks. They're going to do everything in their power to take away yours. They're going to do everything in their power to enrich themselves at our expense. Godspeed to all. Semper Fi. And I'll see you for the Q&A this afternoon.